Right, so this is M1DLS again. Basics of an antenna builder. Okay, first thing you need tape measure. Doesn't matter expensive, doesn't matter cheap. This was from the pound shop. I mentioned the pound shop before, but I won't stop mentioning it. There's a lot of stuff from the pound shop that you can build some very good antennas from for £1. So anyway, a tape measure. That's the most important. Next, multimeter. Now every ham shack should have one anyway, but continuity. For instance, this is unrehearsed, you can tell. A chassis socket, SO239 chassis socket. Continuity on the beep. That means there's a short. Sometimes you need that and sometimes you don't. With antennas you don't. That's the centre of the coax simulation. The only place I should get continuity is here. Like that. If you get continuity here, you've got a short. Your antenna won't work. That obviously this works. That's coated copper. Don't get fooled with coated copper. Just hit the solder or hit the centre conductor and you know you've got your continuity. Important. Next thing you need is a calculator or an antenna tool. I can't show you on here, but you can get an app on your phone called Antenna Tool. Download that works. I've got it on my computer, or you can just Google it. Wavelengths, you know, your die-hard amateurs have the formula. You don't need that in this day and age. You don't need that. You need a computer. That's all you need, and the internet, and it'll tell you how your wavelength works. That's the second thing. And the next thing is materials. Now materials go from copper, aluminium, steel, anything conductive, even water. I've seen water antennas there, salty water antennas, or brackish antennas I think they're called. The more the salt, the more conductive. The less the salt, you know, the other way. So that's the next thing, materials. The next thing is fittings. You've already seen the SO239 chassis socket. This is the one I've knocked up. I know it doesn't look much, but it works. It is a PL socket. That part is fed through insulation, just a bit of tubing, black tubing, and soldered to that end. This part is on the outside of the insulation. That's why I have that tube, so that doesn't show up with that. And you want it on there, that somewhere. If you can't solder it, do what I do. Hot glue it. Make sure there's plenty frayed. Spin it round, tuck it in, hot glue it, and a couple of cable ties to take the tension if you're making a dipole. That there is actually the centre conductor of the RG58 that used to be in it, which helps the solder point because I cut it off small cable. So you got your live, your ground. Really handy. That's all you need for them to make an antenna for your PL. Sorry, your patch lead connector was just one of them. You're talking about £3 maximum for this fitting. Wire. Obviously you've got to take from there in the measurements when you're making your antenna. Start there. If not, just add extra to your wire. I mean that works as a dipole setter. You can put ferrite there if you want to, if it makes you fancy. Like one of these ferrite beads I've got here. You know, instead of the choke, put one of them on, and then you've got a bit of a ballon. It's not really a ballon, and there's a difference between a 1-to-1 ballon and an RF choke. A lot of people get them confused. I'm a big believer in RF chokes. I don't like ballons. Unpopular opinion, I don't like ballons. I think it's because of my location here, but all I do is get an S3 of noise. Now the reason I'm talking about noise, I'll show you my antennas. My antennas here. I'm using HD SDR. Right there. Now if you look at the bottom spectrum, absolutely flat. That's no noise. I get more stations through lack of noise than I do with higher antennas and stuff like that. You lose a lot of performance through the noise. Now I'll put it on a different antenna that picks up a little bit of noise and you'll understand what I mean. If you notice the spectrum, it's picked up a half NS point. Now that's a quarter wave ground plane, not quarter wave vertical with the 135-degree angle wires. This is a ground plane, which means it's 90 degrees to the antenna. So, okay, noise. Listen to the lack of noise. That is because it is straight balanced antenna built with the materials I showed you. Now that is your basic equipment, so I'll say goodbye. This is M1DLS. Sign off. Thank you for watching.